Hi guys, here we are again 7 days later, and now we're doing the new recipe. The recipe to feed the family. Remember what we spoke about? Let's keep on going with that. One pot, couple of ingredients, let's feed a family of 4, 6, 8, as many as you are. One thing I want to make sure of, we're all aware of the coronavirus, we're all aware of what's going on. We're all aware of the gloves and masks and everything else. Today I'm cooking for the family. I don't need a mask. I'm talking straight into a pot which is going to feed my family, and I'm not touching anything except for what I'm touching for my family. When it's a restaurant, it's a totally different thing, but let's not worry about that at the moment. This is about family. So today we'll need a couple of things. Fresh cabbage, whether it can be any cabbage you like, even the long ones. I forget at the moment what they call them. With the way of the risotto, whether it's sort of bori or any other rice, let's not worry about rice at the moment. It can be made anywhere in the world. It can be made in Australia, in Italy. There is no, because this is not a risotto. Today we're doing rice and cabbage. That's it. For the other things that we got to put in, a little bit of pancetta. If you can't get pancetta, this is a flat one. You have to slice, and garlic. Nothing else. At the end, I will put some Parmesan cheese. Simple as that. So let's really start with the recipe. What I've done, I've cut the cabbage, and of course I've actually washed it in water, but I'm going to leave it in water because I will need some of that water. Cabbage is all closed up, so you want to actually wash it. Don't think that the inside of the cabbage is going to be clean. It doesn't have it. Let's start. Oil. What did we say before? Oil. You don't have to cook with extra virgin olive oil. All you got to cook with, seems like I'm putting a lot, but I'm actually cooking a 1 liter of rice. The pot doesn't have to be too hot. You can start it even from cold. Now, the pancetta or the bacon, you chop it up together with some parsley and a little bit of garlic. Parsley is the only other thing that I forgot to tell you. You put it inside, there is no sizzle. No sizzle whatsoever. And with this one here, you just got to take your time. You got all day to cook. The kids are doing whatever they're doing, and not only that, you want to make sure that this aroma goes through the house and it gives you a little bit of happiness for the soul. So that's, you get it through here. So this is not sizzling, it's not doing anything, but all it's doing, it's actually bringing out the fats, it's roasting up the garlic without burning it, the parsley, everything is just starting this gorgeous process. So even the fat of the pancetta which is coming out, it's giving it more liquid to cook with. So far, it's a very, very, very easy recipe to make. So this is the first step. Now, I don't want to brown it. I don't want to caramelize anything. All I'm trying to do, I wish I could let you smell it, is just make sure that nothing is burning. It's a very, very, very low, gentle, well, low to medium. Actually, I can put it up a bit, but I've got it on a low flame. Take your time. There is no hurry. So, of course, we're going to be hurrying it up because we're not going to be here for. It takes approximately 35-40 minutes to cook. It's the sort of recipe you got to smell, you got to look, you got to listen, and then finally you got to taste it. So you got to use all your senses in this one. It's not about who cooks the best. It's about who's got the most patience. And at the moment, we're all playing a game of patience. So I'm not at home yet. I haven't got the full lockdown. I'm in my business because we're still doing some business. And then eventually when I go home, I'll have enough time to go out, pick up this, because let's face it, all this panic buying, empty shelves are full again. As we were saying last week, shelves are getting refilled. Today the Prime Minister said that it's actually opening up 24 hours a day. So we can easily go and pick up a couple of things, go straight back home, don't kiss anybody, don't hug anybody, and that's it. First part, very simple. The second part, the cabbage that you've just cut, you can cut it, you can shred it, you can do whatever you like with it. Not in big pieces. And they don't have to be the same. Some are longer, some are shorter, right? So all we're going to do, we're going to throw these in. And don't worry, cabbage is one of the most resilient or strong, I won't call it a lettuce, but vegetables that we have. Now, the pancetta was doing its bit. It's still not high because I don't want anything to sizzle. So far, and by the way, this was one full cabbage. The other one is called, Dan, what's the other cabbage called, the long one? The Savoy, what a beautiful name, Savoy. Reminds me of the Savoy in London. You can even, as you're cooking it, you can remember when you've been to the Savoy. I've never been to the Savoy, so I don't have to tell you, but it's a beautiful romantic name of cooking. So now, this is the stage. I'm actually going to turn it up, the flame, because now I have to start cooking and reducing. So this is going to take a little bit of time, so don't worry about stirring it now. Let the pot do its little bit. So this has been cooking around about 10-15 minutes. That little bit of water that I took out, that was the water what you saw in there. Those two beautiful pieces of cheese, that's only the skin of the Parmesan cheese that I grated, because every bit of extra flavor. The pancetta, the skin of the pancetta, don't throw that away. Keep it for things like this or soups. Put it inside. So you can see that little bit of water. That's why I said it doesn't. You just need a little bit of heat just to bring out all those beautiful aromas. Then you put the cabbage in, and now becomes the part where you have to wait. Everything is still over a high heat. So risotto, you have to toast the rice. This one is not a risotto. This is rice and cabbage. I will let it stew. So I've done that for the last 15-20 minutes. Now it's all running. My next thing that I'm going to add, water. If you got filtered water, just use filtered water. If you don't, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put enough water. You can see how much that was for a cabbage. That's probably enough for the moment, but I will add, because now I want to boil it down. I want to cook it down, and all these flavors have really got to come out. Now we have to leave this for another 10 minutes, and we will come back later for the rest. Guys, you just saw before how much water actually was covering. Now this is the important part. This is where all the flavor is. Forget about everything else. The cabbage, the pancetta, the garlic, and the parsley is here. I still haven't added any salt because I've got the pancetta's got a little bit of salt, and I do like my salt, by the way. And this is the time now that I start adding the salt before I put the rice in. I want to keep that totally wet. Open it up, it's starting to boil, and all the flavor, if you could smell the aroma that's coming through this, all the flavor is now packed into this. If I would put the rice in now, there's nothing coming. Every time, the longer you're cooking it, and the more of its natural flavor of the cabbage it's actually coming through. It's almost like when you do a soup or you do a broth and you're cooking it for a couple of hours, and then you just taste it. It's the most beautiful thing because all the flavors are just going together. So as I was saying, I mean, this is again another 10 minutes. I'm checking it. It's now boiling away. It's doing what I wanted to do. So still haven't added any salt. I still want to do first the rice, and it's very unusual for me not to, because I need salt to actually drag out all its natural juices. But there's enough in there, I think. So remember I was saying it's easy? My wife does not cook, and she loves cooking this dish, apart from the fact that she's Slavic, and they marinate cabbage over a couple of days and they absolutely kill it. No, but I do love it. Whatever they do, absolutely love it. So it's that sort of thing. There's the rice. As I said, this is an arborio rice, and you don't have to toast it. You just have to throw it in. So now that's where the fun starts. I've got to mix it through. As I'm mixing it, all the starch is going to come out. Now, the liquid. There is enough liquid in here. You might, and you will have to add some more. Now this is the time, and now you don't have to stir it too much. It's not going to stick. As I said, it's a wet dish. It's not going to stick. There's nothing in there that's caramelizing at all, so it's not going to stick. Remember, salt, more salt. Again, we live in Queensland. Maybe for the guys down in Victoria, New South Wales, it's a little bit colder. You don't sweat as much as us. We work a lot harder than you, so we need a little bit more salt. Mix it, and very simply, we do 10 minutes with the pot covered. We check it again, and then we put it down to simmer. Then it's got to reduce, and then we have to take off the lid while it's reducing, just to actually get rid of some of this liquid. But I know that I have to put some more water. So let's have a look in 10 minutes time. So the other 10 minutes is gone by. This is actually boiling quite a lot. I put the spoon right in the middle. That's when always I want to see that if I'm cooking a ragu or anything else, nothing is sticking. But what I do want to do now, you can see how much smoke is coming out. It's got to be, it's going to come out. It's alright. Actually, he's cooking me something to eat. Leave that one in, it might be cute. Alright, now you can see how much smoke, you can cut it. You can see how much smoke is coming out. That means now that the dish is reducing. I'm going to turn it down because I want to simmer it. All your bubbles are going to come down. Everything is going to quieten down. Now you've got to actually reduce and you want flavor. You want all the flavor. I will stir it again. As in risotto. Risotto you don't stir. It's basically go like that and you turn everything around. But this one here, it's not a risotto. Very good. By the way, this is a dish that we do in Naples. I come from Naples, so this is my dish from Naples. I will add a touch more water. I just want to make sure that everything is boiling along. And one thing I love, and I put it here because I want that flavor to really come out, not right at the end. A little bit of granulated pepper. So again, you don't have to go like that, but you can just stir it. So far, what do we use? A pot, a cabbage, pancetta, a little bit of garlic, 1 spoon, and some parsley, and water. That's it. Oil, just normal water, we don't need anything else. Salt and pepper. This will go on for the next 20-30 minutes. Do come back to it once in a while. Get one of the kids, give them a job. That's what Mum used to do. Unfortunately, I had to stir. I was the official stirrer of the family. So give them a job to make sure that they stir once in a while, right? And that's it. It is dangerous, it is liquid, it is everything else. Get your older kids to do it, not the younger kids. I mean, of course, I don't have to tell you. Your parents these days are much better than the parents the other days. My mother used to put me in danger every time. Every single day she used to cook. So, let's leave this alone. Put the pot there, go away, sit down, have a chat, have a laugh. We're here for the long time. Our Prime Minister told us to stay home. This is when we're all at home, every one of us. So we have to keep busy. And I'm not going to tell you how to keep busy because you can do that. All I'm going to do, how to cook one pot for the whole family. As you can see the liquid, it's now really, really reducing. So make sure this is not, it's a semi-dry, semi-wet. You can do whatever you like. But at this stage here, like everything is just coming out. It's working beautifully. The flavor, the smell, everything else. You do need to add a bit more water. I did add a bit of salt before because I actually tried it, but you can see what it's doing. And don't forget, once you leave it, it's the actual volume of the dish. It'll still keep on cooking. So don't cook it to the right down to the end. Leave it a little bit firm, and that'll still keep on cooking. And then it'll be cooked to perfection once it cools down. And it's something that you can eat straight away, or you can leave it and put it in the fridge. Don't have to freeze this. This is easy. And family, 1 kilo of rice, family of 6 or 8. This will feed 6 to 8 people quite easily. It's very, very, very filling. I don't know what the cost involved in it. You'll have to work that out yourself. But believe me, once you taste it, it is an incredible thing. So have a look at the bubbles, have a look how it's just is starting to reduce. The whole dish has taken 35, 38 minutes, maybe 40 minutes at the most. It is now nice and dry, not too dry, but with your ladle, always as you mix, always mix, doesn't matter. And as I'm mixing now, before it was wet, it was dry, now it's a little bit wet. So just pick up a ladle. Flat plate, because you want to, this is very hot and it'll stay hot. So from the middle, and again, this is not a risotto. This is simply veggie risotto. This is a lot. Don't, I wouldn't be able to eat all this. But all it needs is the simple Parmesan cheese. Everything is seasoned. I like a little bit, and I mean a little bit, maybe it's a lot for you, for the children maybe not. A little bit of granulated pepper. And remember what we said about extra virgin olive oil? It's extra virgin olive oil. Put it on. It's good for you, it's good for your soul, it's good for your health, it's good for everything. Don't cook with it. It's got to be raw. Eat it with a fork, eat it with a spoon, eat it with whatever you like, eat it with your family. Enjoy it, buon appetito. Next one, we'll see what we do. If you got any requests, don't send them to me at the moment, I'm too busy doing things. Once I'm at home, we will do a lot more intricate things, but one pot, one thing, and buon appetito.